Thirst for new markets and cultural superiority were the two main and prime examples of the drive of imperialism. Thirst for new markets. The Panama Canal. One second. Okay, there it is. Engineers wanted a path from the Atlantic to the Pacific. The two choices to make the canals were Nicaragua and the Panama. The U.S. wanted Nicaragua to cooperate with them because it was easier to construct the canal. There was fewer obstacles and across a very big lake. But they couldn't get Nicaragua to cooperate with the U.S. because they knew that the U.S. was controlling the country. So instead, the U.S. decided to choose the Panama because they were willing to cooperate with the U.S. The U.S. also found the Panama Canal as an extremely desired way to expand more of their market. They paid $40 million to the French because the French themselves couldn't build the canal. They built the canal immediately after they bought it. They worked their workers so hard that a lot of them got sick, and about 5,600 other workers died in the making of this canal. They made a lot of money making this because they were able to expand their trades. The total cost to make the canal was $380 million, but there was more than 1,000 merchant ships that passed by it every year, making it very useful and profitable. Because of this, they made billions of dollars off of it. Also, another thirst for new markets was the Hawaiian Islands. The Hawaiian Islands was American, had about 3/4 American-owned sugar plantations. Plantation owners imported thousands of laborers from Japan, Portugal, and China. By 1900, foreigners and immigrant laborers outnumbered native Hawaiians from about 3 to 1. The Hawaiian Islands have been economically important to the United States for nearly a century. They were important for sugar plantations and very popular for the sugar. Because the white planters have close ties with the United States agreed to import Hawaiian sugar duty-free. Over the next 15 years, the Hawaiian sugar production increased 9 times. The duty-free status was soon revoked because it was so unfair. This caused the Hawaiian sugar to face competition with other sugar companies. Because of this, they wanted Hawaii to be annexed with the United States. Annex means to incorporate territory into an existing country or state. This meant that Hawaii wanted to be part of the U.S. so they can have a duty-free importing. The white people have been taking power from the Hawaiians. King Kalakaua, who was the king of Hawaii, died. His sister took over and wanted to take more power away from the white people. So John L. Stevens worked on a revolution to overthrow the Queen. With the help of the Marines, they threw over the Queen and set up a government headed by Stanford B. Dole. President Cleveland wanted to reappoint the Queen, but Dole refused. This canceled the annexation with Hawaii in the U.S., which stopped Hawaii from having a duty-free importation of their sugar. Cultural superiority. Acquisition in Hawaii. In the 1820s, Yankee missionaries founded Christian schools and churches on the islands. Their children and grandchildren became sugar planters who sold most of their crop to the United States. They tried to import their own culture into the other countries and tried converting their religion into Christianity. They also educated Hawaiians about Christianity in Christian schools and inputted their religion into their lives. The white people of Hawaii were very powerful. The king of Hawaii, King Kalakua, died. Like I just said, his sister became queen, and she tried taking power away from the powerful white people. And the ambassador John L. Stevens wanted to prevent this from happening so their culture can stay in power. He organized a revolution, like I just said, and he revolted with the Marines. They appointed Stanford B. Dole to power. This way, the white people could keep their power, and they could still be in power of the Hawaiians. This shows how much strength and superiority the Americans had over the Hawaiians. Not only does it show superiority, but this also shows thirst for new markets, because the main reason of this was cultural superiority, but they also wanted to annex with the U.S. Another cultural superiority was the Philippines. We had a very long dispute with the Philippines, but we finally settled it with a treaty. But President McKinley told a group of Methodist ministers that he had prayed for guidance on Philippine annexation, and had concluded that there was nothing left for them to do but to take them all and uplift and Christianize them. Firstly, the Filipinos were already Christian, so that was useless. And secondly, the U.S. is trying to enforce their own religion to other countries. How preposterous. The annexation is somewhat of an open door for them to try and convert other countries and other religions and try converting them to their religion. This is also an example of cultural superiority, because they're trying to bring other people and other religions to their religion. This is the cultural superiority and thirst for new markets that was the prime examples of the drive of imperialism.